I'm Delisa Sanchez here with Victoria. We're here at Sardi's. Can you tell me a little about this restaurant?
Oh, sure. Sardi's is sort of the renowned Broadway restaurant. It's where a lot of people made deals and were discovered and made movies. You may also see Sardi's in the film The Muppets Take Manhattan. And Kermit's caricature, you'll see all these characters on the wall, is actually right by the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. I saw that one. So what is your title?
Yeah, I'm National Sales Manager for Disney Theatrical. So it's my job to sell Mary Poppins and The Lion King and now Newsies all over the world.
So what's involved in bringing a show to Broadway?
Wow. That's a long question to answer, but let me tell you. Initially, the way it used to work is that somebody would have a script and they would write music. We'll talk musical instead of play because it's more fun. And they would workshop it with actors and musicians, and workshop means they would do it in studios and they'd do rehearsals for it, and they thought it was ready. Then they'd have producers put money in it. They would go to the theater owner, like Memphis, which we're filming right across from here, and they would get the theater, they'd bring in the show, they'd start advertising and marketing, and there you go, Broadway. Now, they listen to an album like ABBA's Greatest Hits, and they decide to write a story around the music. So there are lots of different ways shows come to Broadway right now.
Oh, that's great. What's the average cost to bring a show to Broadway?
Wow, good question. It really depends. I would say one of the least expensive shows to come to Broadway probably costs about $5 million. And the average show can cost anywhere from like $10 to $14 million.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this, when I started interning, I was 19.
And so do you have internships for students?
We do, actually. If you visit DisneyCareers.com, they do internships, but they usually start in college. And they're a summer-long internship, and I wish that I had had that internship when I was growing up. But I had the one where you got people coffee at this new coffee shop called Starbucks. But no, interning is the best thing that you can do. That's how I got into this business. And it also helps you learn what part of the business you want to work in, because I started working in press, and I worked in general management, and they're sort of stage managing shows, and I didn't want to do either of those things. So I've done advertising, marketing, and sales, so at least it helps you get an idea of the industry as a whole and what you enjoy doing.
It's pretty cool. I would want to do an internship.
You should.
I would, actually.
I have my own table here downstairs, which took a lot of work. I had to steadily come here and eat and drink. But what's neat about it is I was sitting there one day and this woman sat next to me, and she was like in her 80s. And her hair was all done, and she was totally put together, and she came and she sat next to me, and she's like, I was discovered here. And I was like, really? And she said David Merrick, who was a producer, he did 42nd Street, you guys have heard of that musical, he was sitting at another table, and he saw her, and she was like 19 years old, fresh off the bus, sorry, microphone. And he ended up bringing her over to the table and saying, call this guy, and it was a big agent, and she was Carol Channing's understudy in Hello, Dolly. Wow. So, like, that's how it used to work. Wouldn't it be great if you could get famous just by hanging out? But I guess you kind of can now. So, yeah. Are you guys all going to have a career in entertainment now?
I want to.
Let me tell you something. You don't make any money for the first 10 years, and then after that, it's really cool.
Well, thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.